Today, we are ranking the complete Liga team of the season, both the men and the women. If you're new to these parts, it is free to subscribe. We have broken rank 1 foot champs debatable in the pine. I'm not gonna hold you. Get in that comment section, blow it up with your opinion. Aubameyang, that man is a sweat vest. Big body, still not the quickest turner, even with the upgraded numbers for the dribbling. Just my opinion. But if you're playing something narrow, you're looking for deep outlets, you want a through ball in your life, that type of merchant, he's got that. El Bacha, what a season it's been. I've got her in rank 1 for the team of the season. And if we're just being transparent, which we always are, that 90 was the game shifter. The whole vibe switch up, new atmosphere, wing, fullback, innovator, overpowered, provided Bacha with some notoriety, maybe even a celebrity amongst FC fans. Into the middies, there's gonna be a lot of these types of players. I like the stats, I just don't trust her. She went from a 70 silver and now all of a sudden 91. These are the types of items that I question through and through. Double 5-piece with technical can do something for you in the midfield. If you need an attacking option, definitely viable, deceptive, and selective. Chawinga, gonna give her rank 1. Got a little strong grouping. Price tag is sort of ridiculous, but some of that comes down to pack ability or pack weight. What's actually getting pulled, because we don't have a bunch of market rotation, and that has been a constant issue or concern, or just don't have the ability to earn. Santa Claus, I got a lot of love for him. Foot champs. In theory, he can also get better. It's a live item. I personally, a certain rapport with Klaus. Dante, debatable. Jonathan David, wow. Again, if you're going up against someone on a through ball, a turn and burn, explosive, rapid, in behind, authentic. At this point, I don't believe he goes under the radar. There was a point that the Canadian was maybe not first ballot selection, but over the past few years, he's built up his track record in the Liga. Can I start getting a little more harsh? Because I know that none of you are using Costa. That's the reality of the situation. I could probably make the same case here. I know when we're getting new wingers, you need to have a 5-star somewhere. A weak foot, a skill move. Even with all these stats, it does help that he has whipped pass and relentless and rapid. These are good play styles or attributes to give you a little bit of a booster. Dembele, this is that major upgrade. Got to go to broken. I know that there's been some cases, some detective work on him being fraudulent on previous items. This one makes the breakthrough. Diani, if you have not completed the SBC, I would recommend. Rank 1, I think I tossed an engine on her. Dribbling, got that sparkle, that mystic movement, and also not that expensive, all things considered. Donnarumma is one of my favorite goalkeepers in the game. I know how goalkeepers are, so maybe I'll just leave him in foot champs for right now, but I would recommend giving Donnarumma some minutes, and it's strange. I've mostly used his Champions League item, which is lower rated, so in theory, this 95 should be better, but when it comes to goalkeepers, they don't follow any guidelines or rules or stats or metrics. We never know. Grace in the middies. I would consider her somewhat of an upgraded version of Sawa, which is completely complimentary. I love that Sawa item. I've been using her for months, since that SBC was released. She's in that type of compare and contrast. Good company. I'm not sure. The needle hasn't been moved for me. I see it, 94. You want me to go through stats? By all means. Does have a 4-star skill move, 4-star weak foot situation. I like that there's technical because you hammer that R1, but I just don't find full legitimacy here. Going up against him and using him doesn't feel as if he's a top tier or elite striker. Hernandez, never been my favorite, but I'm giving him at least foot champs. I don't know if you're going to make a heavy case in a different direction. He doesn't have the most presence as a center back, and I don't feel that he is skillful enough or side-to-side movement or having that agility to truly play as a natural fullback. So you've got to play him somewhat centrally, but I do love his play styles. Hegerberg, don't know if I got that right, but debatable. Karkawi, I think she still has to go to broken. Clearly one of the best fullbacks to do it. I would rather have Karkawi over the likes of Bacha, and I think most of you would agree. I didn't do a double down on the price point, but I have a feeling that will also support my case. Just a slightly better track record with the exception of that 90 overall that I'll track back with Bacha. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know that she has it. You could sit here and you can tell me about stats. We can analyze, we can discuss. She's not getting into my lineup. She's not breaking in off the bench. She's not making a big enough difference. Is that harsh? Maybe. He's a speedster type that's not going to make a big enough difference for you as a starter or off the bench. That's a review. Lacazette currently is going to be foot champs. There could be some movement, but that's where my initial instinct and just what I've seen from a productivity standpoint. He's solid. I'm not sure if I'm jumping off a ledge to co-sign him as being a rank 1 or even a broken player. And if you're new, at the end of the video, we do a full review. There's always some movements. Lala's sort of good money. A little bit of a shocker, maybe even more so coming after Lacazette, has not had any storytelling this season in particular, but in past FIFAs, he's been a green light. Add in whipped pass and jockey and relentless. It's sort of the perfect trifecta or combination for a fullback. He's got some skill moves. Maybe there's a Mike bias, but I think you'll be surprised. And if you're shopping on a budget, Lala could be a fantastic option for you and your back line. I don't think he's bad, but I don't know if I'm super moved. It's difficult for me because we have all these upgrades and new team of the season players, and then you add in some of the preferred icons or even heroes or just overpowered meta material, and you have to question, are they actually getting minutes? Is there a real PT that can be had? I don't trust it. I'm sorry, brother. And I want to put players in the pine. I might even move some of the debate to the pine. It could get a little more hot takey. And I'm in a conflicted position. The issue I have is that I've only been able to use the 92, which I think is brilliant. But in every statistical way or allocation, the 93 looks better, should be better, is likely to be better. But I really don't have a track record, or I don't have support directly with usability. Even going up against her, it's not happening. So I'm kind of putting her into rank 1 a little bit blind. That's my disclaimer, but I've enjoyed all of her previous items, every single one. Marquinhos, and you're welcome to disagree, he'll get foot champs from yours truly. He's just not my style of center back, especially at this point. I would rather have a larger body type. I always think back to the Virgil van Dijk and that build. It doesn't always make sense, and the way that he takes up space and impact and structure and just brick wall and a workhorse. Marquinhos always feels a little bit on the slimmer end. He doesn't feel as if he's going to be one of those center backs and kind of get stuck in, but his chase back is good. The agility is right. Again, responsiveness, turning. It depends what you're looking for. And he does have anticipate and intercept, which are good play style pluses. I don't want to discredit him. He's just not my personal favorite player. I believe more of you will have him higher. Mateo's a difficult one. I want to have her in foot champs, but the 4-star has me leaning a little more on the debate. I know a lot of people don't want to play with a winger that doesn't have those extra skills or doesn't have the extra weak foot, even though it should be mentioned. Whip pass, relentless, technical, these are the money playstyle pluses. And yes, we make a big deal about playstyles, and we should. Those characteristics, they change the way that an item moves, the animations. I don't think it makes sense to put Mbappe with other players. So we're just gonna go ahead and make an Mbappe category at the very top. If you've played any amounts of FC, Mbappe at all levels, even the 91 gold rare, I could use him right now. Present day, as we're speaking, weekend league, full 20 games, he'll put up numbers. Mbemba, I'm just gonna toss him into the pine. Again, I don't know that I believe those stats are authentic. He's not the biggest guy. It is what it is. There has to be some degree of being a little bit harsh here. I'm going back to back. Medina's also going into the pine. We're building it up. Minamino, I like him. I see what you see. Could you get away with the weekend? Potentially. I'm going to leave him in the debate for now. We might revisit. Nuno Mendes, at least the weekend, but I would still prefer Bacha. That's where I'm at. So I want to have that degree of separation. Renard, solid track record with the team of the year. The center back's not going to let you down. She's in foot champs, but she might be able to make a case for some upward trajectory. Woo! Big Thuram into the midfield. Rank 1 all day. He's 6'4" and 90 pluses across the board. Maybe you would call him the French Goretzka, but I don't know if I'd go as far as saying he's an artiste, but he is definitely going to make a statement in your midfield. Untested goalkeeper, uncharted waters. We're going to the pine. I'm sorry. Thiago, a 99 pace fullback. I believe you could play plenty of these folks in the weekend. The issue, or where I'm having some confliction, there are better options already in the game with better proof in the pudding. They have longevity. It's already established across multiple leagues between promos. And some of the new versions of these fullbacks aren't superior. Cost you next to nothing as an SBC. I would recommend getting the 94. I think it's like 30,000 coins, or she's 30,000 coins. And then if you find her in a rotation, so be it. If not, you could technically use her for a rotational as some fodder. Worst case scenario. Todibo, I like him. Might be worth giving some minutes. This is the same reality check. We got a lot of center backs, and he's not in the top 30 or top 40 in the game. The issue, there's likely 100 center backs that are at the same level, if not better. That's not an exaggeration. Live left back addition into the debate. Vitinha, I think he's coming into the broken category, joining that select group, at least on our first go around. The same could be said with Emery. We're almost at that point. And Big Zebo, we've got plenty of good history. I might even be pushing or forcing him to be in the debate, but big body type, classic holding midfielder. Let's review. As for the Pine, could you make a case for these players going up to a debate? For sure. You could probably make a case for plenty of the debate going to the Pine. I don't want to be disrespectful, but we're going to fill up the role. I like keeping these sort of harsh because people just come with me on stats, but don't use the players, don't go up against the players. They take it at face value, and it doesn't work that way. So Dante's coming down. I don't think he's competitive at this stage, even though a lot of people have enjoyed using Dante over the years. I'm going to take this left back because I'm telling you, he comes off so ordinary. It's not game changing. He's coming down. I think I'm going to leave this here for now. Todibo, even though I said he might not be a top 100, probably not. He's still successful for me. I still like him. So I'm going to give him foot champs. At the end of the day, this is my list and my bias. That's what's happening. This could be a crazy take, but I kind of want Zebo to move up. I know what I'm getting. It's a classic holding mid, but he'll give you that. I don't know. I could be tripping. Look, I'm going with what I know. So Big Zebo is even going into foot champs. That could be a surprise to many of you, and that's fine. So now I'm looking at Renard. Is she going to move? Do we give Marquinhos some sort of bump? Nuno's good to go. Lacazette's in the conversation. Santa Claus makes me excited, makes me happy. If you wanted to do something with Donnarumma, just from a personal experience, but I don't have that much rundown with the 95 compared to his previous items. I would love to have Majri higher. I just don't know if she can get there. Mainly because we don't know. I need those minutes. I need that game time. I need to go up against her. I think Grace is in the right place. Diani's in the right place. I don't know if I'm as sold with Chawinga, but Chawinga has that pro clubs-esque build. And she has the finesse shot. You just can't play her out wide. She got to be up front. I'm going to go ahead and give her the notch up to broken. Nobody's going to join Mbappe is the reality. So if I push you up a notch, you kind of got to be competing with this group here. And I'd rather have Emery than Thuram, so I'm going to leave that alone. Boccia, as the game has progressed, has not been as mandatory elite. So I think I'm going to leave off here. This is pretty solid, though. You got 5 and broken. You got Mbappe doing his own thing. The rank 1 group will do the business. Foot champs, still weekend league certified. And then we made a pretty big list in the debate. What I think that's right. And even the Pine. I threw out a lot of names, but they're not getting into your rotationals, or I don't think they are. Those are my selections. Let me know what you've cooked up in the comment section. And as always, I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.